Hello all you homebrew enthusiasts, my name's Pruitt and welcome to another homebrew update, week of October 29th, 2017. We have some amazing stuff going on with the Nintendo Switch, the PS Vita, and the 3DS, so let's go ahead and get started. But first, let me just ask you, what is your favorite console to actually do homebrew on? Tell me in the comments below. Let's start off with the awesome hybrid console, the Nintendo Switch. We got some amazing news from the developer and hacker Pruitt and friends. He wasn't alone on this. They got read-write access onto the Nintendo Switch, meaning they could execute their own code and also read from other areas of the Nintendo Switch that we weren't able to do so from the beginning. What does this mean? This means we could finally actually have homebrew in the upcoming future, as in we could have a homebrew channel to launch homebrew games, or we could have a way to run emulators, yada yada yada. It is some amazing news. The only thing is they are not releasing it yet. My guess is so they can figure out more stuff going on with it, as well as hopefully make a homebrew channel before they actually release anything. That way they actually have something to release with and not just say, hey, here's read-write access, you go figure out the rest. Next is the 3DS homebrew releases. We have quite a bit, so let's get started on it. We've got a new version of NTR Boot. It's the homebrew that actually flashes the NTR Boot onto your 3DS through a DS flash card. The new version is version 4. They have bug fixes as well as some other cool stuff, but the biggest thing is they changed the name. They changed the name from being A2KI, I think I got that, underscore NTR boot or something like that, to just being DS underscore NTR boot. The reason they changed the name is because it was causing some confusion. The original name had an actual flashcard name in it, and they just changed it to a generic name to have any flashcards. There's a new flashcard out there called Ace 3DSX. What does flashcard do? Well, it lets you play DS ROMs and NTR boot. But wait, doesn't that include every single flashcard out there? Well, the majority of flashcards? Yes it does. But do all the other flashcards have a little switch on the side to switch between NTR boot and DS ROMs? No, this one does. That's right, if you want to just flash NTR boot onto a new 3DS, you can just flip the switch and be able to run it. Or if you just want to play DS ROMs, flip the switch again and you can just run the DS ROMs that way. It is a very cool handy feature, and I would love to get my hands on one of these. If you guys want to know more, I'll be putting a full-length review of this 3DS flashcard down in the description below. Next up is a new homebrew called Payload Spinner 3DS. Now, to me, that sounds like it's a randomizer to load different payloads where you don't get to choose what payload you want to do, but that is not right. This homebrew lets you choose what payload you want to load at the very beginning of the 3DS. If you are loading Luma 3DS custom firmware, you can actually change it to say God Mode 9 3DS. I mean, you don't really need to do that since you could actually load God Mode 9 from the very beginning anyway, but it's really cool because you can switch custom firmwares right on the fly, right on the 3DS. You don't have to take out the SD card and put it into your computer and switch the firm files. You can just do it all on the 3DS now. Very handy. If switching firmware files is something that you do a lot, I would highly recommend you getting this homebrew. Next up on the homebrew scene of the 3DS, we have a new program for the NTR custom firmware. Now, for other people who have NTR custom firmware, the majority of you I'm sure are probably a new 3DS user because you have to use one certain aspect of the NTR custom firmware on the new 3DS. So you may be asking, what is NTR custom firmware? NTR custom firmware lets you run plugins, cheats, and other awesome amazing things for your games. If you want infinite health, infinite lives, you can do it through NTR custom firmware. It also has its own little debugger, so you can even find your own cheats that way. I've done it myself. It's pretty easy. But the reason why you need a new 3DS for NTR custom firmware is because of NTR Viewer. NTR Viewer lets you stream your 3DS screen over to your PC, so you could record it or you could stream it, whichever way you want to do. The application that's come out is very similar to NTR Viewer, where it lets you stream your videos, but it's just better. It's called Snicker Stream. It lets you stream your 3DS over to the PC just like NTR Viewer does, but better because there's a lot more bug fixes that are already made, as well as better frame rate. Not only that, it also takes less of your CPU memory, so that way it actually runs better in general. So if you have a new 3DS running NTR firmware and you want to stream your 3DS screen over to your PC and record it, this is definitely the time for you to do it. That's it for the 3DS scene. Let's go over to the SNES Classic. The Reddit user Honeylabs has created a way to run 4 controllers on the SNES Classic. It's really cool, but I have no idea how he does it, but you can read it all in his blog that I'll put in the description below. His blog is all in Japanese, so if you know how to read Japanese, great, or you can use Google Translate and do it that way. Last but not least, we have our PlayStation Vita /TV homebrew. The developer Zerpy has posted a proof of concept plugin over on the Vita Hacks Reddit page called PS Vita UVC. Just like the NTR viewer or sticker stream for the 3DS, this lets you stream your Vita screen over to a PC via USB cable. The PC will recognize it as a usual webcam, but instead of actually using the webcam for what its intended use, it will stream the PS Vita's home screen over to your PC. Currently, it is only available on the home screen / live area. You can't use it in any games, but I'm sure in the future, he will definitely make it worthwhile. Well, that's it for everything of the last 2 weeks. If I miss anything, do comment below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well as that little bell icon so you know whenever I upload a new video. And I'll see you next time.